That raises questions from Mueller, who now Senator Graham said, in fact, he will pull in. Speaking of Senator Graham's upcoming race, a ton of outside money's pouring into South Carolina. Hollywood liberals, Alyssa Milano, Kathy Griffin, have publicly, supported Graham's opponent. Big contributions. Rosie O'Donnell, Barbara Streisand, Hillary Clinton, MoveOn.org. Wow. Now, Lindsey Graham, senator from the great state of South Carolina. So I'm wondering if Hillary, Rosie, and Kathy Griffin, and Barbara Streisand, I'm wondering if their money is going to be impactful to the great people of South Carolina, which I would imagine really don't want Hollywood liberals or liberal politicians telling them what to think and how to vote.
It's the most expensive money he'll ever receive. What we're going to do is let people in South Carolina know where the $13.9 million is coming from. And what is it about Jamie Harrison that all these people like? I think we'll put the puzzle together here soon. But let me tell you what's coming up from the Judiciary Committee. You have followed this more than anybody probably in the country. Remember, the Horowitz report indicated that an intel analyst and a case agent interviewed the Russian subsource in January for 3 days and again in March, and they actually produced a memo of about 40 pages detailing how unreliable the dossier was. You also have to remember that they renewed the warrant in April and June of 2017. Here's what I'm here to tell you. I want that memo out to the public so they can read it for themselves. I think we're days away from having it declassified, not weeks. And here's my point. Anybody that read that memo or was briefed about the memo and continued to use the dossier to get a warrant against Carter Page in April and June of 2017, they're in big time trouble.
But they also warned before the first one. They were told Steele has an agenda. They were told Hillary pays for it. They were told it was unverified. Comey signed off on 3 of them, even at the 3rd one being after this happened.
This is different. Let me tell you why it's different. You had the State Department saying, be wary. You had Bruce Orr in November of 2016 telling McCabe, you can't trust Steele's information, you need to verify it. That's all true, but this is different. They actually found the guy who put the dossier together. He wasn't a subsource of Christopher Steele. He was an employee of Christopher Steele. The Russian was on Christopher Steele's payroll. He wasn't a contractor. But after you talk to the guy who put the memo together, and you got a 40-page document explaining why it's not reliable, and you use it after that, you're really in trouble with the court.
But Lindsey, let me argue a little bit with you here. Remember, top of a FISA warrant. I haven't seen one in my life, but people have told me the word verified is on top of it. Rod Rosenstein, it has to be verified by career officials. We now know it was completely unverifiable, and they're only looking into its veracity after 2 of the warrants were already signed off on. That means they used unverifiable information, and they were also warned about it. So there's no excuse any way you look at this.
Well, one is, if I'm told, be careful, don't use this, you need to check it out, and somebody fails to do it, yeah, they're in trouble. But if you know, if you've actually been told by the person who prepared it, you shouldn't use it, that's a crime.
I would argue both are, but I'm not the lawyer. We'll leave that up to Durham and Barr. Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon.
Yeah.
And Robert Ray, clean up the
tuned.
premier law enforcement agency in the world. Do your job. And it'll be interesting to bring Bob Mueller.
Amen. And
will you bring back Mueller, Comey, McCabe, Yates, for example, Strzok and Page?
Yeah. So in September, we're going to bring Comey and McCabe in. Yeah, absolutely. I've got 3 weeks between now and the August break. We've done about 6 interviews. And there's another document coming out that you've never seen or heard about before that's incredibly damning. The FBI knew that the document was unreliable in January and February, and they continued to use it in April and June. Somebody can go to jail over this. Stay tuned.
Mr. Higher Honor, it appears, signed off on an unverifiable dossier. Mr. Higher Honor, can't wait to hear from him. Lindsey Graham, thank you. Can't wait to hear from Mueller. He didn't even know what Fusion GPS was, didn't know who Jeannie Ray was.